What is up, guys? Welcome back to Mainly Movies, the channel where we talk about, well, mainly movies. So welcome back to my monthly segment, even though it hasn't really been a monthly segment, but welcome back to the segment, Is It Really That Bad?, where we determine whether a low-scoring movie is as bad as they say it is, or whether it's, you know, a bad film, or whether it's a good film. Anyway, I'm joined by my good friend Dylan, and because it's Friday the 13th, we decided to watch Friday the 13th Part 3, because it's kind of like the lowest scoring one out of the franchise. Now, Dylan is a massive fan of the Friday the 13th movies. He loves them a lot. And, I mean, what's not to love? They're pretty good films.
In my opinion, they're perfect.
Exactly. They're like masterpieces of
cinema.
Yeah, there you go. They're kinos, that's what they are. Anyway, so yeah, we decided to watch Part 3 now. Quickly, before we dive into more about the film, which is your favourite Friday the 13th, your least favourite, and where does this one stand in the movies?
Right, I would go, that's hard, they're all treasured in my heart, but
They're all pretty good.
I would say that, personally, Jason X Part 10
Jason X
is my favourite, even though that's, it's unanimously hated, but yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just so stupid, but I love it. Least scoring, I would have to say, probably Jason Takes Manhattan, or
Jason Takes Manhattan, yeah.
I don't know.
That one is like the one. Was that the one where he punches that guy's head off?
Just clear. That's my favourite part of it. But
yeah.
Most of it takes part on a ship, and he's like,
does it?
Yeah, he's in Manhattan.
Really, I haven't seen that one. So,
I want to say throughout the whole maybe 20 minutes he's in Manhattan, but the parts where he's in, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
But
the rest of it is just
for what it should be.
Is it like Jason goes on vacation or something like that?
It's pretty garbage, but I love it. Like the kill is like there's one part in it where he there's like these thugs and they pull a knife on him.
Yeah.
And he pulls up his mask and it's just so stupid. I love it.
Yeah. And where do you put number 3? Where do you put that one? Like,
well, I personally think 1 and 2 are actually good. They're done well. The story is good.
Is number 3 like where it gets?
Where they slowly, you can tell they've kind of given up on trying to make like a cohesive story.
Yeah, exactly.
They've kind of made him. He's kind of a joke, and it's before he becomes immortal and all that junk. So he gets beaten on a lot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of on the lower spectrum. 1 and 2 are actually good standalone horror films.
Yeah.
But by now they're kind of becoming more of a comedy. Like you don't.
Exactly.
Like slapstick.
Yeah.
Like Three Stooges sort of thing.
Yeah.
Hard to respect the horror elements.
Yeah. Jason X and those ones, they stay away from the horror as much as possible.
They fully committed to the comedy.
They wanted it to be as silly as possible, and it's great.
You can tell.
So yeah, where do you put this one? Just like,
if I had to rate them, it's middle kind of ground.
Middle.
Jason X, my favorite.
Yeah.
Least favorite is probably Jason Takes Manhattan. But yeah, this is about mid ground, like middle level.
Yeah, middle.
It's pretty funny. You got like Shelley in it.
Shelley. We'll get to that in a minute.
And
Shelley
the two stoners are pretty funny.
Yeah.
But overall, it's decent. It's if I had to rate it, it'd be like maybe a 6 out of 10.
6.
The first one, I'd probably give that about like an 8. Like it's actually good.
They knew what they were doing. It was something creative and
you can tell it's definitely inspired of Halloween.
Yeah.
So you kind of it's paying respects to that. So I do really like it, and it's obviously kind of what got me into horror.
All right, so. If you haven't seen my other Is It Really That Bad?, I basically get the guest to explain the story as best as possible. So if you want to explain the story.
The short way is it's exactly like all the other ones,
Exactly, it is.
Any repercussions that Jason gets from the previous film are just non-existent, and he goes on to kill a group of teens and leaves one person alive.
Exactly.
But this one, I guess it follows off from part 2, He doesn't have the mask yet. You know, he's not wearing the hood, but his makeup's substantially different.
Yeah.
But
He looks like a pig man.
He looks like a pig man, man pig.
Yeah, man pig. So yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, essentially, somehow he's involved with the final girl. I can't recall her name.
Yeah, it was like that flashback of her escaping, and it was really awkward. Like she kept getting up and falling.
Yeah, and then she kicks a knife out of his hand.
And yeah, one thing that kind of bothered me about that part is the fact that like it was two shots in one. It was like her talking about it, and faded in the background was like her trying to escape Jason, and
yeah,
it was a really awkward shot, but yeah.
I don't know. I guess the best way you can explain the story is he has some sort of connection to the girl, but they don't delve in depth with it. No. He starts off by killing 2 random store clerks straight off the bat from part 2.
Yeah.
After he's escaping the police sort of thing.
Yeah, he's got the bag.
Yeah, and when he shows up in there, he's like just got the pig face. He kills the dude, he kills the store clerk, he kills his wife, moves on, stalks them to the cabin, somehow finds that they're there.
Yeah.
Kills Shelley.
Shelley, the man.
And gets the the iconic mask, and that's kind of the
and then you also
mask.
get to see like when the final girl was it that hits him with the axe.
Yeah, and that's how he gets the iconic sort of slash in it.
Yeah.
It all kind of comes together. But essentially the story is the same as every single one of them.
Is number 4 this now? I still haven't seen number 4. Like, is that? Also, sorry about the barking in the background. That's just the neighbour's dogs. It's
really, they're all kind of the same. Some try to play around. I think it's the New Blood. Don't quote me on that. Where it's actually it's not even Jason. It's a corrupt cop.
Oh yeah,
but it's been a while since I've watched them. A couple of years.
Were they doing like a Halloween 3 sort of thing, or they're trying to do something different?
I don't know. I think they kind of wanted. I don't know if they wanted to move away from Jason. Like I haven't read into it, but you can tell. In the next one, Jason's back.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's when he's like buried. He gets struck by lightning, and he comes back as a zombie. Yeah, I can't remember the character's name. I'm trying so hard to remember.
Yeah.
It's just been a very long time since I've watched the movies.
Yeah. So the only ones that I've seen is the first one, the second one, now the third one, Jason Goes to Hell, and Freddy vs. Jason. And the remake, of course, I've seen that. So I'm not a massive fan. I can appreciate why people really like them. This movie by far is very silly. Like, coming off from watching I've seen Jason Goes to Hell, and that's pretty silly itself. I was watching that. I can't remember the mind state I was in, but I was watching it, and it was fun.
I mean, I can respect that the filmmakers were trying to diverge, make something new of Jason.
Oh yeah.
But they failed.
They failed. And I remember
bad.
you telling me once at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, like the Freddy Krueger glove and all that, and then there's also
the Necronomicon.
The Necronomicon.
Because apparently, Ash from Evil Dead was supposed to be in that as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a 3-way sort of battle.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I would have liked to seen that. Like, it would have been interesting. It would have been fun and creative.
And then even just Freddy vs. Jason didn't come for like.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. You said that Freddy vs. Jason didn't come. It was like 2003 or something that movie came out.
Yeah.
And Jason Goes to Hell was like early 90s maybe.
It was a while.
It was like 10 years or something.
Yeah, it's about a decade, maybe just a bit less.
Yeah.
But it was a long time. I'm pretty sure that was just a dispute between the rights between the the producers sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not too well versed in it.
So basically, we'll go into how the movie's structured. We'll talk about the movie a bit more and try and find the funny points and the bad points and stuff. But anyway, like you said, the movie opens with the ending of
a recap.
Part 2. It's like a recap basically. And the only thing that's different is there's a shot of the severed head of the mum, and then just out of nowhere it's the Friday the 13th, like part 3 in like a 3D motion.
Heavy synth music.
It is unbelievably cool. I enjoy it so much.
It's very jarring.
Just quickly before I get more further into the movie, we were originally planning on watching this movie, and then there was a few problems and we couldn't watch the movie, and then we decided, you know what, let's just watch another bad movie. We heard The Bye Bye Man is really bad, so we just decided to watch The Bye Bye Man. We got about, I would say, 20 minutes into the film,
Roughly.
and it was one of the hardest movies we could ever sit through.
Physically painful.
It was really bad, and we're just like, you know what, let's just try and get to watching part 3 of Friday the 13th, and considering it's Friday the 13th, that's why it was the original plan, and we did it, and it was great. You know, it was a fun, enjoyable experience. But anyway, back to the plot of the movie, I guess, so it cuts up to that, and then it cuts to basically straight after part 2, and it's the store clerk, and he has a lot of rabbits,
and then they both get killed.
They both get killed.
He gets killed with a cleaver to the chest.
Yep, and she gets killed.
I want to say wife, could be girlfriend, but I'm going to say wife. She gets stabbed through the back.
I honestly don't remember. There was a lot of drinking involved in this film.
I think she was stabbed through the back.
There was a lot of drinking involved, and it's still going because it's a movie like that.
Yeah, then from there we meet our cast, who are very forgettable, unfortunately. We got Shelley, he's the most memorable, but I think that's because he looks like a...
He literally...
He looks like a fat Seth Rogen.
So we made like nicknames for each of the characters, and as we're introducing them now, because we're getting to those characters, we have like the girls, which for some reason they all look the same. They kind of have the same traits, basically. We have fat, even more Jewish Seth Rogen, who's like this. He's really obsessed with like acting and his drama,
and he's kind of a jerk. He plays a lot of practical.
Yeah,
jokes.
he plays a lot of practical jokes. I wouldn't go as far as to say he's a jerk. I still kind of like his character. He's that character that you kind of have to like.
He comes across as a jerk, but he doesn't mean to.
When he dies, it's painful to watch. You know,
a little bit
Shelley,
like out of all the characters,
it's like when I reviewed with Kent last time on the last Is It Really That Bad episode. There was that one character we were talking about, the old lady in the open house, which we thought was the funniest character. It's sort of like that, where it's like that memorable character. He's just over the top. And we have who was there was. Hillbilly Chad Ben Stiller. There was his name is Rick and he was a pedophile because he looked like he was 50 years old and he was dating
at least 3 times the final girl's age.
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely, yeah. Then we have Matthew Broderick lookalike, off-brand Matthew Broderick, who's dating another chick. Girl. No, she wasn't the final girl. The final girl, yeah. It was what we thought was going to be the final girl.
But she wasn't.
And then we have Seth Rogen, blah blah blah, and we have the off-brand Tommy Chong, which in the first frame I saw him, I actually thought it was Tommy Chong. I yelled out Tommy Chong, and it wasn't Tommy Chong. It was just some dude that looked extremely like him, as well as a little bit like John Lennon.
He was probably one of the best parts of the film.
And
he's making popcorn.
Yes, and
stupid.
We made a thing. We'd drink every time there's like a 3D moment, and there's always a 3D moment at every kill. So we had to drink twice because we had to drink every kill.
There's a part where these they're not quite a biker gang, but these thugs.
Yeah.
They all kind of die consecutively. So they all had 3D moments. So it's like,
and we felt
drink.
Yeah, drink. Yeah. And then there was so basically, in the structure, it's literally just set up these characters, set up these things, they die, blah blah blah. That's basically the structure of the film.
Yeah, the best way you can explain it, it goes, recap of the second film. And then he kills the 2 store clerks, and then from there he goes to the cabin. And
they set up those characters.
But there's not really any conflict with the characters.
For a second, can we just talk about the bikey dudes? Like, what? so basically, they were in the film. I want to say for about 15 minutes. They were
total, yeah.
They were in a shop, and they assault fat. Shelley, the even more Jewish Seth Rogen.
The thought.
Yeah, the thottish girlfriend who doesn't want to be with Shelley because he's fat and he's ugly. And I mean, why would you want to go? Those tits just look easy to grab, But so they get assaulted by biker gangs, and they were probably the worst biker gang. One of them looked like Kiefer Sutherland from The Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Anyway, that scene he was talking about is that Dylan was talking about, which is the when they just all kind of got killed one after the other,
and
there was no real point for them to be in the movie.
When I think she was called Tiger, the main chick, the boss.
Yeah.
She goes in there. And she just bangs on. She kicks over a hay.
She kicks over a hay barrel.
Yeah. She bangs on some stuff, and then she gets killed.
Like, she gets killed.
She almost falls on a rake. Or Or
and we drunk then
because pitchfork. Yeah, and it's like it's a 3D moment. Yeah, some of them felt pointless, like the popcorn and the pitchfork. Those were two.
And the juggling.
The juggling.
The juggling as well.
But the kill where she gets harpooned through the eye. That was actually. I felt that was necessary.
That was necessary, and alright, so there's two kills. I won't get into the kills just yet. We'll get into those in a minute.
Yeah.
But so yeah, they get killed. What's after that? Then it kind of sets up the characters a little more. It sets up the chick talking about a backstory with Jason, which was really quick
and kind of pointless.
I feel like the only reason why those bikies were in there though was just to keep the movie kind of going on, making you add some more kills. Anyway, with then it just kind of sets up each scene for each character to die.
Yeah.
You have Shelley, which I kind of like Shelley's death because they thought it was fake, but he was
throughout
real.
the movie he does, I think twice he pretends
like the first time he had the axe in his head, he falls out, and they're like, and then they tickle him, and he's like, he's
and then
fine.
the next time he grabs the girl he's trying to get with his leg.
That's right. Yeah,
he's kind of known like the boy who cried wolf sort of thing.
Yeah.
So when he's actually dead, it's like, is he dead or not?
That's a good way of looking at it. The boy who cried wolf. Yeah. And then basically the final girl escapes. There's always the bodies that pop out at her, and she gets scared of the bodies and she runs away.
A lot of fake jump scares.
There was a few questionable dialogues, and there was also, I don't know if you guys know this about a lot of films, but sometimes inside the lens you can see you can see hair inside the lens, and when you're looking at a shot, you can see like at the bottom, like probably like down here of the shot, you can see like a little bit of hair. Like it's just a black hair, and it's in focus in the camera. Usually in movies you won't see that. In older movies you can kind of see that, like Once Upon a Time in the West. It happens a lot. It happens a lot in a lot of Sergio Leone films. Anyway, but in this movie it kind of makes you can see when they actually filmed each shot,
or at least what camera they used.
For the shot, because there's one like panning in the window.
There's that one shot where they're in the Volkswagen, the Beetle, and you can actually see the guy in the
as clear as day,
the guy recording, and you can actually see them in the reflection, and then you notice that they're in the shot. They're trying to jump out, and the cameraman just gives up and just stays in the shot.
The cameraman stays in the shot, but there's a guy standing next to the camera, and he's kind of looking at the camera, and I think when he's looking at the camera, he can see himself, so he's definitely and he kind of steps to the side a bit. And it was funny, and it was just like, it was a funny moment.
I know this is like kind of unrelated, but there's a shot where Shelley runs up to the golf, the Beetle, and he kind of just has a shot of like him and his butt. And it's just
it's funny.
There's a lot of shots that just don't add to the film, but I'm guessing they just did it to pad the runtime.
But there is some creative shots, like the one that you pointed out with the window, and it's fogged up and it's around.
That was really nice. And, there's the shot where Rick, Chad Hillbilly, Ben Stiller through the window. It was really effective, and there was also I want to say his name was Ben. He gets cut in half.
Yes.
And he's after the blood drips.
That's where there's a bit of confrontation for me of this film. I'm divided, so we'll go into the kills now. So for me, none of the kills were as good as these two that stand out the most, which was Chad Hillbilly. Ben Stiller gets his head crushed and his eye pops out in this awkwardly like 3D moment, and then you have the Matthew Broderick, off-brand Matthew Broderick gets sliced because he's doing like handstands for some reason, and then Jason just slices him down. But the shot is pretty cool because it's kind of that glass shot where it looks up at him, and I didn't mind that. But when you see the aftermath, when his girlfriend's reading the book in the hammock, and then like blood drips down like the classic, and then she looks up and sees him, and his legs like all fucked up and shit. And I thought that was pretty good.
Really added to the kill. Like,
it's
like, oh, he gets sliced.
Yeah,
and that's it. But then you see his body,
and then you see it
stuffed up in the rafters of the house.
Out of number 3 itself, which is your favorite kill?
Oh, definitely where he gets sliced.
Sliced
down the middle. I don't know. It's just it looks the best. I want to say the harpoon kill.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't look the best.
They could have done something cool with that, like maybe even like because it's 3D, they could have done something like where you see the back of her head, and when she gets shot, like the eyeballs at the end of the thing, something cool like that. But
they just didn't like. You can tell that it's definitely like the filmmakers were competent.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They didn't. There's definitely parts where you can tell they just kind of wanted to rush it out, like the Volkswagen scene.
Yeah.
You just see them in it. Some of the like the scene in the barn, you can tell they just didn't really know what to do with the actor. There was like they were going for an hour and a half, and they really wanted to make it because this movie's an hour and it's an hour and 35 minutes, and I feel like that was the time. I feel like they kind of went overtime as well. I feel like they were like, no, we want this to be like an hour and 20. I would say when it hits, like, so you got some deaths, you got the gang.
It hits about the 40-minute mark, and then that's when it just kind of.
And then you get about an hour and 10 minutes, and then it's just like death after death, it's like consecutively. One thing that's kind of surprising, I guess you could say the Friday the 13th franchise is notorious for nudity. This one's pretty tame.
It's pretty tame, yeah. You see
it's
a couple
just one person.
Yeah.
And you see...
Is that the final girl? No, that's Handstand Man's wife. Off-brand Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. You see...
Well, not wife,
her
girlfriend.
nipples, but you don't see, it's not a lot, which, I mean, tasteful. And, it's kind of added effect to it. But also you kind of see... It kind of makes sense because it's like the shower after sex.
Yeah.
So you can tell they at least try to make it make sense why she's nude when a lot of them just let's just make the girls naked,
Yeah.
Who cares?
So out of all of the Friday the 13th movies, or Jason Goes to Hell, blah blah, which is your favourite kill out of all of them?
I'd have to say the sleeping bag kill.
Sleeping bag kill, the one-hit one?
Where it's just like...
Bang, one hit one.
Either that or the it's in Jason X where she gets a face put in
like the
can't remember what the chemical's called, but like it freezes her.
Yeah, like dry ice sort of thing.
Yeah, so and then she just smashes her head.
Yeah, and then
it's out of those two.
Yeah,
those are just they're memorable.
Yeah. But, see, I can't even remember any kills from Jason Goes to Hell. I can't remember any.
Yeah,
I
remember Jason dying where he just gets like blown apart by the army.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I can't remember any kills from the remake. Number one, I can remember. Number one, I can remember the Kevin Bacon one. Yeah, not just because it's Kevin Bacon, but that was a pretty cool.
There's the archery kill where she's like the archery.
Oh yeah.
Lit up and then. She gets filled with arrows.
Number 2, I can't remember any kills. I
remember
after watching.
That's about it.
Yeah. After watching that recap, I remember the ending.
Yeah.
But that's about it for me. For those, they're the only kills that I can remember.
The most memorable part of Part 3 is probably Jason's pig face.
Jason's pig face.
Either that or
I was actually going to say this earlier on in the video, but that was seemingly pretty good. I don't mind the practicality and his makeup.
I do appreciate that. Obviously they don't do any CGI.
Yeah,
it's all practical effects, and you can respect that. Sometimes they look a bit bad, with hillbilly Chad Ben Stiller, where his head gets crushed. That doesn't look the best, but then you got where he gets sliced in half. That does look good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a 50-50, so it's like sometimes it looks good.
The kill with hillbilly Ben Stiller, Chad Ben Stiller, that kill was laughably bad. Like it was, but it was still a good kill. And then Off-brand Matthew Broderick, his kill was cool.
Yeah,
that's the
like
thing.
it was done very well.
Yeah, there was one that's funny, that was really funny, and then there was one that was really cool.
You can kind of the whole idea of like you being stalked by this, you know, crazy dude, mentally deranged, and you kind of trapped there. You know, you can't escape. That idea is good.
They just overuse it a bit.
They overdo it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Some of the characters are kind of dumb. And it's kind of weird how they kind of just like there's all these coincidences and like occurrences throughout the film. They just kind of like, oh, it's Shelley. It's sort of that sort of stuff. It's like kind of it's hard to take the film seriously. You can take the first one seriously. The second one, you know, follows Jason as he's growing up, revenge for his mother.
Yeah.
The third one, where it's the series starts to not go downhill because I love them all.
Yeah.
But you can tell that they've stopped taking themselves seriously.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like the Chucky movies.
Mm-hmm.
The first two have some sort of seriousness. Third one, when it gets to the boot camp, is just fucking out of this world insane, and then the rest of them just get like
even the the remake this year.
Of what? Of the
Child's
Play. That movie, it still had a lot of. It was very
just stupid, but
yeah.
It's
You
still
saw my
fun to
review on
watch.
that. I didn't really enjoy it as much as I wanted to.
I personally think the remake of Friday the 13th, they tried
It was
to
not
make
that
it
bad. It
scarier.
wasn't that bad. Never Hike Alone. If you're on YouTube, watch that. It's about a 40-minute long short film.
Yeah,
of,
it's not violent, not graphic.
No, it's cleverly made.
But it's a
and
very good fan film.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
it is.
One of the
I don't
better
think
ones I've
it's
seen.
not canon, but
No.
It's
worth a watch.
It's definitely worth a watch.
You can tell that the people who made it, they have a lot of passion for.
I think
this
the guy who
franchise.
directed it played Jason in that as well.
Oh, have you I think it's called Charlie's Farm.
I've heard of that
It's
movie.
like
Yes.
an Australian. I guess you could say they pay homage to Friday the 13th. Because they got Kane Hodder in it. You know, he played Jason 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, you could say he's the main actor of Jason.
Yeah.
Really cool guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in it. And he had a lot of control in it. And
Yeah.
I've watched it. It's fairly decent. I personally like the Friday the 13th franchise more.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So I do respect the film, but it's definitely a cliche. But it's worth a watch. Definitely.
Here's a question: if a movie from like Jason Goes to Manhattan or whatever, from them on to like Jason X, if they were made today, you know what? Even if, say, if Friday the 13th didn't exist in the 80s and the first one came out now, do you think it would do as well? No, you think it would bomb?
It would flop.
Like, if it was in the style of the remake, do you think it would be as...
No. I want to say because I like them so much, but it would flop because today a lot of people are desensitized to this sort of stuff.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
You know, we've got every second thing is trying to be more violent than the last film.
Yeah.
And
it's like in the early 2000s, the gross out comedy movies, like the American Pie movies, like they kept trying to top each other, and then you got to Freddy Got Fingered, and it's just like
and like horror movies now, they just rely on jump scares, which I hate. But this film's like
Bye Bye Man was the best example.
Garbage. It's the most garbage
don't waste
film.
your time. We were going to review that.
To watch. But films like
if you want a quick review on that, yes, it is really that bad. Don't fucking watch that movie.
Zero.
Worse than 0. What's minus 100?
Negative nothing.
Yeah, it's in the negatives, alright?
But
you watch a graph and you know how a graph always starts higher?
It's just low.
It's a flat line. It's like a fucking dead person. It's flat line.
One modern movies that are definitely worth watching, at least from my opinion, The Ritual.
He recommended that to me. It was good.
It's creepy, not scary, but
this guy knows his horror movies.
It's got a very nice atmosphere. The acting is really good. You really feel for these characters because it's kind of it embraces a sense of masculinity in crisis. You know, these friends, they're trying to stay together, but they've all drifted, and it's very touching that they're trying to embrace that more, but they just can't. They can't connect as much as they used to.
Yeah.
And the death of their friend is really the only thing keeping them together.
It's it's also like a bit of grief. Like there's a lot of grief in the film.
And
suffering.
You see the character suffer, and you see him, accept and embrace that pain, and it's a really good film. Like
It is.
done.
It
Like
is.
freaking the director. It's either Neil or David Bruckner. I can't recall, but they did a phenomenal job.
Oh yeah, it was directed well.
I've watched it multiple times,
Yeah.
and each time it's just these little things about it that just make it.
It is a good movie. It is a good.
Yeah, it's really a memorable film.
It is.
But
it is.
getting back to
Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Like so you're saying that if this movie came out today, it wouldn't do as well.
It'd flop because
Everyone's watching these fucking paranormal activity, ghost dimensions
just
or whatever.
everyone's trying to get the most messed up film they can. Freaking.
Exactly. Yeah, they try. I think people now are going to to see a horror movie. People think it's just teenagers. It's not just teenagers. It's just people want to get jump scared. Like they want to pay money to get jump scared.
Yeah, and
jump scares aren't the only thing that's going to make you enjoy the movie.
They are cheap.
It is cheap.
Hate
It is
jump
a cheap
scares.
way.
They rely on a psychological response to
Yes.
sudden noises because it's kind of primal. You physically can't help but jump, and it's kind of sad that movies need to rely on that. They don't build the tension well. Like It Chapter 2.
Yeah, he saw that. I haven't seen it yet, so I haven't reviewed.
I'm just gonna say
no review out.
It had such potential. It was very funny, but the horror didn't reach it because they relied too much on jump scares or just the clown. They're like, oh, clowns are creepy, but they need more. They need to actually build the tension and not rely on jump scares so much. And that's what I kind of appreciate with the Friday the 13th franchise, at least the first couple ones. They do have some jump scares, but it's not just
It's the subtlety.
like just so infected by them.
Yeah.
It doesn't consume the whole film.
Here's a cure for jump scares. Fucking close your ears. Like literally, it's people close their eyes when but you're still hearing it. It's the sound that's making you jump because it's a loud sound.
Yeah, like if
you close your ears or block your ears, it's over. But really, it's just a cheap way to scare your audience.
It's very cheap.
What I find the worst is when this happened with the Paranormal Activity movies and some of the other movies. I can't remember what it was,
all
but
the Paranormal Activity.
yeah, but it was the trailer with it's like the trailer, but it intersplices like cinema footage of like it's like night camera of people jumping, and I'm like that's their way of basically saying that their movie is just a jump scare fest and is going to just be a jump scare fest. And I don't know, I really appreciate a horror film for its story, subtlety and all that. That's why I don't know if you really like this. I mean, I liked The Ritual. I thought that was a really good example of horror. Another good example is like The Shining and things like that. But another good example for me, I don't know if you liked it or not, but The Witch. I thought that it was a slow building film. I thought it was going to go in a different direction than it did. I was curious. Like the movie curiosity hit me when I was watching that movie. I didn't know really what was going on, and when you get to the ending of the film, I didn't feel let down. I thought that was a creepy film, especially the scene where they're grinding that baby and the thing.
Yeah,
it was creepy, and you see the witch within like 5 minutes of the film. But I feel like if modern audiences went to see that movie, they would walk out and they would just think it's the biggest pile of shit.
I'm kind of guilty of that. I felt it was too slow. Caleb, my friend, he really liked it, but I found it so hard to get into it. But I can respect that it wasn't just a jump scare fest. They actually built the tension.
Yeah.
That part where the baby gets grinded.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
It's really like, and you have this dread throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
At least as much as I got about halfway through.
Yeah.
And I kind of do wish I had finished it, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah, I can see
but
why.
I can respect it.
Yeah. See, it's things like that. At least you can understand why people can like the film. But I feel like if I were talking to a modern audience, someone who doesn't go out to see movies much, or and watch The Witch, they would be like, it's boring. It's got nothing to do with witches, or well, I mean it does, but they were like, there's hardly any witches in it. There's no thing that scares you. So like it's modern audiences that are bringing movies. Not movies like this, but more movies that are classical and they have more of a moral sense. There's another movie called Lake Mungo. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's more of like a depressing horror film.
Wait, is that the one where it's like a documentary?
It's like a documentary.
I
and
haven't
it's an Australian
watched
one.
it, but I've seen kind of a breakdown.
Yeah. It's a very sad kind of thing, and it was truly terrifying. And there is some modern movies nowadays that can create a scare. I'm not saying like all of them are from the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. That there's a lot of modern movies like The Babadook. There was a few terrifying ones that came out.
It's mainly just audiences are reacting to jump scares positively, saying these are a good thing.
Yes.
Which allows not really even the directors, but the producer. They're like, just fucking throw a jump scare.
I know, yeah.
And they're just like, that's we need that. They kind of because people expect it, and that's the problem. Because jump scares, oh wow, you freaking you made a primal instinct to go off. Like, wow, what good job.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it's not good. It's not good filmmaking.
No, it's not. It's
cheap.
Lazy filmmaking.
Yeah, like even
it's
in
lazy.
It, they had a couple of jump scares that actually did get me, but it's like it wasn't scary. You just if I hear a gunshot, I'm gonna jump.
Yeah.
If I hear a bang in my house, I'm gonna jump.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a flight or fight response.
Yes.
You're not. It's just ingrained in you. You can't help it.
I think what makes a good horror film is more the thought about something. If you think about, like, even this, the thought of being alone in the woods with a mass killer, that's scary. That is scary, man. And I would not want that. As much as you want to fight your way out of it,
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard. Same with like probably the best example of what do you call it? Not being able to do much and the thought of it is scary is Evil Dead movies. They have a scary thought. I mean, once you get to the chainsaw arm and stuff like that. Yeah, but from the first movie and even the remake, the thought of being in a cabin in the woods by yourself and all this nonsense is happening. It's creepy. Same with Nightmare on Elm Street. They all have
the premises. Scary.
The premises are the scariest part of this movie. And then you have Nightmare on Elm Street. There's that little hint of Freddy Krueger maybe touching these children up a little bit. There is a lot of. I
can't remember which one it is, but they do kind of confirm that he is a pedophile.
Exactly.
And I kind of like to ignore that because I want to like Freddy Krueger. Like, I know he's a child killer, but some reason that sounds better to me than being a pedophile. I know they're both awful things. Yeah. But I don't know, killing someone sounds less bad
than like a child molester. Yeah. You're taking away their innocence. That's what.
Yeah, that's more awful, and the fact that they try to embrace that in his characters.
Yeah,
it's too much.
Like, but there was that kind of undertone of he was a pedophile.
But they didn't confirm it, which is like, oh, that's really creepy. Yeah. But when they confirm it, it's like they take it away.
They make it even more of a subject in the remake. They make it more of a subject. Now, talking about remakes, my favourite remake of a horror movie would have to be the Texas Chainsaw one, the 2003 one. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought
you were going to say the Leatherface.
No, that was
that's laughably bad.
That is pretty bad.
That's probably worse. Than
that's like a hillbilly's fucking wet dream.
That's like that's probably worse than some of the Friday jokes. It
is pretty bad. It is pretty bad. But that was the thing, and yeah, I mean it's good to go on the history of the horror movies and talking about why people don't really like them that much. And it's good with Halloween next month, which we're going to be doing a very special one. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's going to be a very special. Is it really that bad? Hopefully Dylan can join us for that one, and maybe someone else. Yeah. So it's a. Well, so stay tuned for that, as well as next month. Me personally, I'm going to be doing a lot of reviews on different kind of horror movies from Halloween to the whole month. Maybe like once a week will be a different review leading up to Halloween. I'll review Halloween on Halloween, but so to get to the final verdict of, I'm sad that this review's over. It's been a joy. It's watching this movie is 10 times better than watching The Bye Bye Man. Oh. So Dylan, The Bye Bye Man, don't watch it. Don't even watch it.
If I could get any lower than just a negative number, I could, because it's awful.
Would you say The Bye Bye Man, from the 20 minutes that you watched it, because this man fucking hates this movie as well, The Gallows or #horror? Would you put it lower than them?
I would.
The 20 minutes that you watched.
I would rather watch #horror.
Oh,
where nothing happens.
That's saying something. That is saying something.
The first 10 minutes of #horror is actually really good. You can tell that they wanted to do something.
Yeah.
But then they follow these awful child actors, and it's just, the story's just stupid. They're trying to portray social media as this this behemoth,
like an evil
awful thing, this entity, and it's just, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you embrace something else? They have this seclusion, they have this big manor, they could do so much with it.
Yeah.
But they decide to just make it like, a reality thing, and it's just stupid. The Gallows, I don't know, that's just disgusting.
You just didn't like it. I watched The Gallows.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad. That's to sum it up, it's a terrible film.
The thing is, reading into it,
that was a found footage movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, but no reason to be.
Yeah, but I couldn't even remember that.
You find out that there are reasons for it, but they were rushed into making it.
Yeah, I remember watching that with Kent, who was on the channel on the previous episode of Is It Really That Bad? And another friend of mine who actually had seen it before, and I remember him saying he actually liked it, and then he watched it the second time, and we were pointing out a lot of bad things, and he was like, yeah, I don't know why I liked it the first time, but I know, to get to the final verdict, I know you're biased on the Friday the 13th
quite
movies.
Biased. I would say, do you rate it out of 10, out of 5?
No, basically you just say, is it really that bad, or is it not that bad? Basically, that's like
I want to try and say this as unbiased. It's really not that bad. It deserves way more than you said, like a 12%.
It got a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'd say, compared to the first one.
Tomatoes, what it was.
I don't know, at least like a 30%. Like, it's not that bad.
30%.
It's a very fun movie.
That's fair.
It's a bad horror movie, but it is you can tell they at least were competent in making it. Like, they knew what they wanted to do. Some of the shots do look really nice.
Yeah.
Other parts,
it's a big question.
But the acting overall,
it is good to watch this movie on Friday the 13th, as well as the first one. It's the only time to watch it.
Well, not the
besides
Halloween.
Yeah. So you're gonna say
it's not that bad, and your verdict?
And my verdict is that it's not that bad.
Yeah.
The open house was fucking terrible. Bye Bye Man was terrible. I'm so glad we didn't end up reviewing that.
I'm happy that
this is worth the money. Definitely watch this movie. It's been a fun Friday the 13th, watching Friday the 13th. We weren't going to do the first Friday the 13th because that is an actual...
It's a decent film.
It is a decent film, and you can kind of respect the filmmaking because it was the first original film.
It's genuinely creepy.
It is
the
creepy.
The whole idea, like, there's this pretty much old lady overpowering all these kids because she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Systematically killing, a group of teens.
If you think of it, like, Jason is this kind of big dumb brute.
Yeah, but she's just a little old lady.
She's a little old lady, but she outsmarts them. That's the thing. That's what I like about it. She knows what I'm doing. She knows what she's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. But basically, so it's not that bad. We recommend it. Next Friday the 13th, there's still time in this Friday the 13th, although this review will be up tomorrow. which will probably be Friday the 13th for America. So, yes, so definitely if you're, if your time zone is different and it's Friday the 13th when you watch this, definitely watch Friday the 13th. Watch a Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th.
I recommend anyone, if you can, try and watch Jason X.
Jason X, he highly recommends, so there you go, you watch it. I've only seen a little bit of that movie, but yeah, so thank you, Dylan, for joining on this episode. It was really good. I'm glad that I watched a movie that was actually good. Like that was not I wouldn't say good, but it's enjoyable.
It's fun to watch.
It's fun to watch.
The Bye Bye Man and the open house is just boring. They don't even try. They don't try. They're just
so if you're with a friend and you have alcohol, drink it, watch it with your friend, and laugh with your friend at Friday the 13th. And just enjoy the cinema and enjoy the kind of the creativity of the movies. But yeah. Got any last things?
Last thing, watching these, the kills are definitely the best part of the franchise, and do not go to these films expecting them to be scary.
Oh no.
In any way, except maybe the first one if you're easily startled. But they're all good. They're all bad. And I love them.
Yeah, there you go. That's basically the best way to sum these movies up. So yeah, thank you for being here. So like I said, next month is going to be a lot of Halloween theme things. And like I said, we've got a special Is It Really That Bad coming up. It's going to be funny. It's going to be hilarious. I
can't wait.
He cannot wait in the most sarcastic way possible. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Bye.